Had flower exports earned by Kenya coming in at $44.5 billion in the 2011 period. And together with fruit, vegetables, the horticulture sector is one of the largest sources of hard currency for the East African nation, bringing in a total of 91.6 billion shillings in the 2011 period as a whole. So today is Valentine's Day, and of course the Kenyan economy, just one of those leveraging off it. The day of love. We know the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. The way to a woman's heart usually is with that bunch of flowers. So with that in mind, Samantha Loring headed off to Net Florist, South Africa's largest online flower retailer, to find out just how business is doing.
I'm in a fridge here at Net Florist's main hub in Sandton, Johannesburg. I'm surrounded by red roses, all packed and ready to be delivered to sweethearts across South Africa. And just above my head, we've got a bunch of 100 long-stemmed red roses. They retail for about 3,000 Rand, making them the most expensive bunch of roses that Net Florist sells on Valentine's Day. And you'd be surprised how many people, in fact, buy them. But that being said, of course, this is a busy time of year, and MD Ryan Bacher has got some spare time for us. So let's go and find out what makes the flower industry tick. Yesterday, you had a record day at Net Florist. I'm sure that must have been exciting, but it's almost contrary to popular belief right now, where everyone's talking about an economic slowdown and I suppose consumer disposable income coming under pressure.
We were a bit surprised as well by it. We've spent a bit more money on marketing, and I think our product range is good, our technology is working well. So kind of everything came together, and yesterday we were doing roughly an order every 4 seconds, which is, it's quite an unusual thing. Think about the internet, that there are no customers here, we don't have shops, but the internet makes such a thing possible. It's quite amazing.
Give us an indication of how your business has grown over the years, has evolved to get to a level of, I suppose it seems that there's organized busyness here today.
We call it organized chaos, and we don't mind that word. So when we started, there were 2 or 3 of us in a room. And now there are 5 warehouses around the country. There are about 250 people employed. But on Valentine's Day, we get a lot of temporary staff because our growth is so significant. So over Valentine's Day, we probably employ somewhere around 500-600 people.
Now, Valentine's Day and Mother's Day are equally as important.
Yes.
Tell us about, in terms of percentage terms,
right,
what percentage are those 2 days of overall yearly turnover?
Right. So they add about 7 to 8% each. So combined, they're about 15% of our yearly turnover, which means we've got 2 very big spikes during the year, because they're 15 days. 15% of turnover in 2 days is obviously very significant, and it adds to a lot of complexity about scaling up on those 2 days. But we've been around for 12 years, and we've learned over the years how to do it, but it's a big logistical effort.
We also spoke to Wilson Mbata, a proud driver at Net Florist.
This is my parky, the fastest way to the woman's heart. Yes.
So tell me, is this like the craziest time of year?
Yeah, yes, of course. We're very busy, like from this week until next week, Monday, we'll be busy with the Valentine.
One of the more contentious issues at Valentine's Day is the high price you have to pay for a few long-stemmed roses.
Our markups and our margins don't change over Valentine's Day. We make slightly less, actually. And the reason is that the price really inflates from the farmer side. And they do it because it's one of the few days in the year where they can get a price that they need to cover their costs for the year. So they inflate their pricing significantly, and we're at the other side of the chain, so we're inflating ours accordingly. But our margin and markup is actually lower than during the year.
And how much do you pay for a rose during this time of year versus any other time of the year?
So it's very complicated because we buy roses from Kenya, from Ethiopia, from our local farmers, from the market. So the variation is very, very wide. A consumer is probably paying somewhere between 10 and 20 Rand for a rose, and florists around the country are paying anywhere between 5 and 10 Rand for a rose, depending.
Let's talk more about the flower industry right now. How competitive is it? You say that you dominate when it comes to the online retail space of flowers, and you've also diversified. But how competitive is it?
It's getting more competitive because there are more and more online companies, and South Africans in a way have moved online with this particular purchase. So the category of flowers is predominantly becoming an online category, which is interesting. And some of the retailers are offering products, offering a delivery service, so there's competition from them as well. But logistically, it's not easy to pull this off. We've got warehouses around the country. We've got 12 years experience, so we're not nonchalant, but we're comfortable where we are, and we've got lots of plans for this year.
And you're just currently in South Africa right now. You have diversified into gifts, into perfume, and of course you talk about further product diversification. When it comes to geographic diversification, is that on the cards?
It is on the cards. We already deliver in quite a few countries around the world. So we deliver properly in Singapore, in Malaysia, and a few other countries. So we are looking overseas, and that'll be a new growth area for us this year as well.